9 News at 10 starts right now.
Football is so back. Broncos hit the field on Sunday in a showdown with the #1 pick.
Well, I don't come starving. Maybe a beer, maybe an app, and if I get my foot long, I get my foot long.
On game days, the biggest matchup may be your wallet versus those stadium food prices.
The home of the Broncos could change a few years down the road. Our Broncos insider is breaking down a couple of options the team is considering.
A medical center in Loveland is making a big change, closing its ER and forcing patients to seek care elsewhere.
But first, a fire that's threatening homes is bad enough. Given just one road to evacuate, neighbors say is a dangerous situation.
Thanks for joining us after the game. I'm Kim Christensen.
And I'm Mark Salinger. Tonight, a fire is completely contained after it threatened homes in the Leyden Rock neighborhood in North Arvada, prompted evacuations before firefighters were able to get the flames completely under control.
As 9 News reporter Colton Chavez shows us, what happened today is exactly what people in this neighborhood have been worried about for years.
Scorched patches of land are all that remain from this fire near 82nd Avenue in Arvada.
Oh yeah, we pretty much saw flames coming through here.
People like Carmen Spagnola and his neighbor Sue were forced to leave as the flames pushed towards their homes.
My wife noticed and she said, "There's a fire out there." And I said, "Really, fire?"
You know, we saw the smoke and I thought, oh, there's some people burning trash. I said, this is bigger than a trash fire.
And to give you an idea of just how close those flames got, look, they pretty much came within feet of these people's backyards. And when we talked with neighbors in more depth, they told us their biggest concern is that road right down there.
If this whole community had to get out of here, we would be jammed up, no question.
That's because 82nd Avenue is the only road out of the Leyden Rock community.
I mean, I was seeing firsthand how everything was closed down. And I mean, nobody could get out.
This isn't the first time neighbors have been concerned about their emergency escape routes. They started talking with the city of Arvada after the Marshall Fire back in 2021. Neighbors say today is exactly why they need a solution.
I think that road should be widened and maybe they should look at another exit road, you know.
It would be very easy to just put, even if it was not a road that was opened all the time, just to put a road across the railroad tracks. They wouldn't even need a signal or anything, just something that gets out there to 72.
Sue says it might be up to her and her neighbors to finally find a fix.
Hey, look, neighbors, we need to bond together and get something done about this. You know, this is just not acceptable any longer.
In Arvada, Colton Chavez, 9 News.
If you looked outside this afternoon and early evening, you saw a whole lot of smoke around the Denver metro area, but it wasn't coming from any wildfires here in Colorado. Sure, not that one in Arvada either. The smoke is streaming in from a number of fires burning in the Pacific Northwest and British Columbia. According to IQ Air, Denver currently has the 3rd worst air quality ranking in the entire world right now.
That is so murky. You feel like you can grab a handful of it.
And it smelled absolutely terrible outside. Chris Bianchi is joining us this evening. Chris, you and I were talking about it. It was just like out of nowhere, the smoke just rolled in.
Yeah, it moved in behind a sharp cold front around 7:15 this evening. And unfortunately, if you're hoping that this is going to go away, it'll incrementally get a little better tomorrow morning. But then that smoke, a secondary push of it, move back in during the day tomorrow. So an air quality alert in place for the entire I-25 corridor. This goes till at least 4 p.m. tomorrow. This will almost for sure get extended into Saturday. It's not really till Saturday we finally get rid of most of this smoke. At one point, visibility was down to about 3 miles because of the thickness of that smoke out at the airport. That visibility has come back up a little bit. Otherwise, temperatures upper 60s, low 70s around the metro area right now. Temperatures have cooled back behind that front. 60s, 70s, eastern plains, 50s and 60s in the high country. Radar, still a few showers and rumbles of thunder out across the eastern plains. In the Denver area, though, things have calmed down after that front moved through a few hours ago. Overall headlines, we got that front tonight, but much cooler tomorrow. I'll show you how cool it'll be and when it warms back up again in my full forecast in just a few minutes.
Healthcare in Loveland is about to look very different. New tonight, Banner Health is closing the ER at McKean Medical Center.
It's a decision that affects patients, employees, and the future of emergency care in the entire area. 9 News reporter Ria Jha joins us this evening. And Ria, you spent the day trying to learn more about what's going on.
Yeah, Banner Health says the ER will close officially on November 5th. They say this is all part of a 10-year plan to turn McKee into a specialty hospital focused on cancer care and surgeries. But employees I spoke with said they only found out today, and many of them learned they'll be losing their jobs. There are more than 351 workers who will be affected. Banner Health said they'll help more than half of them find other jobs within the healthcare system. The other half are getting transition resources like severance packages. The company says the move is because ER visits at McKee have dropped 4 years in a row, and only a quarter of hospital beds are in use. But for patients, that means the UC Health Medical Center of the Rockies will be the only emergency room left in Loveland. While UC Health did say they are preparing to take on more patients, employees pointed out that UC Health doesn't accept Banner insurance, and the nearest Banner ER is now about 20 minutes away up in Fort Collins. Now, several employees told me that they're afraid to speak to us on camera because they've been told they would get fired if they do. They told us ER patients are now being redirected to Banner's other hospitals. Banner said emergency services at McKee will officially end again on November 5th. Ria Jha, 9 News.
The FBI has taken over the investigation into a shooting hoax at the University of Colorado. CU Boulder police say a call targeting the school in late August was a swatting incident, which involves a fake emergency call that activates first responders, and it's designed to create havoc, fear, and confusion. In Boulder, the call led to a campus disruption that lasted more than 3 hours. Colleges in Arkansas, Iowa, and Wisconsin have all dealt with similar situations.
Today, Denver police released new body camera video from 2 different instances where their officers shot people that they believed at the time were armed.
9 News reporter Shalima Maharaj joined us. And Shalima, in both cases, police say the men were carrying replica guns.
That's right. And in the first case, not only were they able to find that replica revolver, but they also found 6 rounds of live ammunition inside. Ammunition they don't believe the person could have actually fired. Denver police say their officers shot 2 people in the last 2 weeks, and both of them were holding replica guns.
On the ground!
The first shooting was early in the morning of August 22nd. In a neighborhood near Evans and Dahlia, just east of I-25.
The caller specifically reported hearing 8 gunshots inside the building.
Commander Matt Clark with DPD says officers were trying to take him into custody when they saw what they thought was a gun.
While still holding the firearm in his right hand, the subject grabbed the grip of an officer's holstered firearm with his left hand.
That's when police shot and killed 48-year-old Javier Nava Carbajal. They later learned the gun he was carrying was a replica revolver.
Somebody put live ammunition in that weapon, and there was no way that weapon was capable of discharging it.
3 days later, officers were called to Alameda and La Pan over reports a man was pointing a gun at passing cars.
The uniformed officers exited their vehicle and directed the subject to show his hands.
Police say he wouldn't put the gun down, so they shot him. In this case, too, the man was carrying a replica BB gun. Chief Ron Thomas says it's a problem when police can't tell real from fake.
I do recall another incident, officer-involved shooting, where the individual had a replica firearm, so it is apparently a growing trend. That is something that we'll continue to track.
Now, the person who was shot at Alameda and La Pan, they were actually shot in the face and incredibly survived this encounter. Now, we are told by police that they are in the hospital right now, continuing to recover from their injuries. In Denver, Shalima Maharaj, 9 News.
A man from Castle Rock is out of ICE custody tonight after an immigration judge canceled his removal case today. Dale Heath was detained last month over a decades-old marijuana charge. He immigrated from England back in 1991. His wife, Kelly, says today a judge granted a cancellation of his removal and immigration authorities didn't appeal it. Kelly picked Dale up from the ICE facility in Aurora this morning. They immediately went to surprise their kids at school. Dale has already started the paperwork to reinstate his permanent green card.